If you're a guy watching the program and you have screwed up really bad, far beyond what a dozen roses will do, my first guess will be of immense interest to you. He appears to have had a few marital problems lately, but I think everything seems to be working its way out. I have no idea. He'll tell us the details. By the way, he's also the star of Tom, which airs Wednesday nights at 8:30 on CBS. Please welcome Tom Arnold. Oh, that's mine.
That's yours?
That's yours, pal. There you go.
Yeah, we're dividing up stuff already. Huh?
Oh, boy. Well, you did it this time, buddy.
What did I?
You know, every guy in America that's screwed up is going, oh, well, look at Tom.
Why?
What are you yelling at me for? Look at him.
Well, I know, but you
What's
know.
the latest? Come on, tell us what's going on.
Well, the latest is, and I didn't exactly screw up.
No, I
okay?
know.
Jeez, give me a break. The latest is that you know, my wife and I are trying to work things out. You know, in a.
No, but what precipitated this?
What happened?
Yeah,
what you
happened?
want to know? Well, it was kind of a surprise to me, Dave. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway,
There's nothing you can say to me.
I am sorry.
Let me tell you something. You need all the friends you can get right now.
That's true. You're right. Anyway, well, you know, we have, Rosie and I have had, we've been, friends 11 and a half years, and we've been, together and living together and married for about 5 years.
Right.
And, it's a lot of pressure.
Pressure
working in this business, you know that.
A lot of pressure.
It's been a long year. We had a lot of different things going on, and for my part, I wasn't, I worked too hard this year. I did a movie, and I did produce 3 television shows, and I acted in one, and I had a couple hair transplants, and...
Now, how does the hair, did they go too deep? Why does the hair transplant?
No, it just slows you down for the weekend.
Oh, I see.
And the weekends are important when you're working that much. And Rosie, she did her show, and she wrote a book, and she promoted a book, and there was a lot of pressure. You know, last week was the last show of the Roseanne season.
Now, didn't you guys have, again, I hear this stuff in the paper, and I would be remiss if I did not ask you. Now, I heard there was like a big blow-up on the set on Friday. You guys were just like a big yelling, screaming.
Yeah, there was.
It started there. That's where it started.
We have had blow-ups on the set before. You know, I'm executive producer, and she's
What?
a star.
I'm shocked.
And I know, and sometimes we disagree over, creative things. Yeah, we have differences, and it works out. It works out okay. Friday was not a blow-up on the set. Friday was interesting. I was driven into work, and the guy that drives me, as we pulled in the gate to the studio, he turns to me and says, I said, take me to my office, and he said, it's no longer your office. And I said, really? What? Whose office is it? He says, it's Rosie's office. And I said, well, she has her own office over here. Well, no, now she has your office. So he gets out of the car.
Well, why does he know that before you do?
Exactly. Oh. Exactly. So I go up to my office, and it is Rosie's office now, and there's a big bunch of people down there, a big whoop-de-doo, and
Oh, no, but back up just a second. I didn't mean to interrupt. You had no idea when you got there this would happen.
Right.
You didn't have like a fight, and then he got there, and this.
No, we had, I knew she was upset. She sent me a couple faxes.
Now, what was she upset? He told you to go fax yourself? Is that what it was?
It started about the amount of time that I've been working,
Right.
I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing my show, and I'm doing her show.
Okay, so you have a separate place you go to, right? Sometimes you don't always stay at the house, right?
I stay down. Well, I have an apartment that I ride at night.
Okay.
And I've stayed there. I've had it for 6 months. I stayed there about 12 times in the 6 months. And
so you were there the night before you got to the office?
Yes, I was there the night before.
Okay.
And so I come into work, and they're in my, the people I had hired were also in my office with her, and I said, well, can someone get me a phone list? And they said, I'm sorry, we don't work for you anymore. And so anyway, that was kind of nasty. And It was horrible because I had to make my own phone calls. It was awful. And anyway,
Yeah.
but I was shooting a pilot, another show that I'd written, and it was shooting a pilot that day, and suddenly I had no staff. You know, no assistants, no anything. It turned out okay. And what happened though was on Rosie was her last day of shooting, and each person that worked at our production company came in one at a time to tell Rosie, you know, how big of a jerk I am. You know.
Oh.
And,
well, let me ask you. Now, when you went to your office, was Rosie in your office?
Yes.
Did you talk then and go, honey, what's going on?
Something like that. You know,
I mean, what happened when you?
I said, you know, I need to get in. I need to get my scripts out of there, and I could see that a lot of my pictures were you know, things were taken off the wall and put into boxes.
Probably from the earthquake.
Exactly. And she was very upset, and she.
I mean, was she yelling when you walked in?
She was talking very loudly.
Talking
she was
loudly.
upset, and she wanted me to be removed from the lot, you know.
Oh.
And you can't do that because, first of all, I work for 2 different studios down there, and you know,
Right.
you know, and she's powerful, but you can't, you know, there are limits. So she was mad at me, and so I ended up, you know, I was okay. I went down to another office and kind of let that situation go.
Okay.
And then over the weekend, it didn't go away, and you know, I heard Monday morning that, you know, and it was a bad sign because 2 weeks before we were in Phoenix at Planet Hollywood, and Rosie was talking to Melanie Griffith, and they're all huddled up, you know, and Melanie had filed for divorce from Don,
All right.
and then taken it back to get his attention because he wasn't paying enough, you know, attention to her. And I saw him talking. I should have known that something was going to happen, right?
Did Christy Brinkley join in that conversation?
Exactly. Whoa! So Monday, then Monday, I was. You know, I was a little surprised to hear, and I was incredibly surprised when I heard the way not that it was filed, but the way it was filed.
So let's take a break, and I want to ask you seriously about some of the things.
Oh,
we said.
sure.
I mean, we joke about, but there were some serious charges brought up as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk more. I'll be back with Tom right after this. Hello, I'm Dr. Joyce Brothers. We're talking with Tom Arnold about marital problems.
Oh man.
Well, let me ask you about something sort of serious, because I mean, I know both you guys, and I know you, you know, you're excitable people, let's say. But when I read the stuff about hitting and being battered, I think everybody's concerned about. Now, Rosie seems to have said no, that didn't happen. Or you want to explain any of that? Or did you ever hit her?
There were a lot. No, I've never hit Rosie. Never hit Rosie.
Because Rosie's pretty tough.
Yeah, she is.
You know, I can't imagine her.
I've wanted to, but I have never. No, I'm kidding. You know, I read the charges, and my lawyer said first, he said, you know what, they're always in a divorce, there's this first salvo, and he says, I've read the charges, and you're going to be very upset, but just don't pay attention to it, because, you know, and so I read it, and, you know, it said, you know, these horrible things about me, and they were completely untrue, and, you know, I was devastated. I mean, this is a woman that, you know, I just could not figure out, no matter how mad she got at me for whatever, why she would ever say anything like this about me, you know. So, you know, it was very confusing, and eventually, and I talked to her on Tuesday. She called me, you know, and I said, this is, you know, I don't even know if I can talk to you because this is so heinous. And she said, well, what does it say? I said, well, it says, you know, that you had a battered wife syndrome, et cetera. And she said, I didn't say any of that stuff. And I said, well, and she said, my lawyer gave me something, and I just signed it, and I was real upset. And I said, well, this is serious because everybody, it's out in the press, and my family has read it, and it's hurt my grandma's feelings, and it's kind of hurting my feelings, and the kids have read it, and the kids are upset about it. I said, you know, you've got to make this right somehow. She said, I will, you know, and then she had her statement yesterday and stuff, but still, it's, you know, it's a little scary that, you know, I mean, to go that far. It shows you how close love and hate are, I think, you know, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we do jokes about you two guys, I mean, I think, I know you both, and a lot of people think, I think you really do care for her, and I think you do love each other, and she certainly loves you, and I like to think, well, maybe with all the craziness that goes on, that's why I read the thing about the hitting, I went, geez, man, that's...
Yeah, that was, it was, you know...
Like, what do you say to people that say this is just a publicity stunt? I mean, because the press, I mean, you guys, you know, are known for being in the press every couple of months for something, and a few of the TV critics think, oh, this is just another thing just because of...
Well, obviously, you know, it's not. I mean, this is a very sad and horrible thing, you know, and it's not a publicity stunt. And unfortunately, we do live our lives in the media. And when Rosie filed this, she made sure that it was public, you know. And I think she felt that she wanted to make sure that this thing was over.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well,
that's.
How about all your stuff? Like when you're back to your house.
Well, when I went back, you know, obviously we've talked since then, and we're trying, you know, we met with a rabbi, and had you know, and it was nice there, and you know, it was good.
Rabbi, you need Henry Kissinger. You don't need a rabbi.
Exactly. Well, he's good. But I went back, you know, we talked, and we've spent some time together this week, and I went back to the house for the first time today, and, oh, it's so weird. On the way to the house, she called me in the car and said, honey, listen, I did something else. I think you're going to be mad about this. And I said, well, you know, how bad could it be? And she said, I've destroyed all your clothes. They're all in the pool. And I said, and I thought she, you know, and I go, did you, my suits? Yeah, your suits, your tuxes. So everything, in one day, everything that you could have told that I lived in that house was in the pool.
It's in the pool.
You know, pictures and stuff. And, you know, it was really weird to...
Well, let me ask you another thing, because a lot of people think this was predicated on that, the three-way marriage thing. Now, was that a prank? Was that for real? I mean, I know you guys, and I still don't know.
Right. Well...
is it a prank?
No, well, I'll tell you what happened. Last fall, I was away doing a movie, and Kim Silva, who is the woman in question, who runs our production company and still does, and Rosie spent a lot of time together. They came out to visit me in Washington, D.C. one day, and they like to dress alike, and they're buddies. I guess women do that. And so they said, you know what, Kim's friends had all been getting married back in New Jersey, and she was kind of sad, you know. And she says, you know what, Kim's going to marry us, Tom. We're going to marry Kim, so we're going to bring her parents out. We're going to have a wedding, and then it'll be fun for her. And I said, you know, that's bad, honey. That'll be bad. And people will not understand that. And she said, I can do what I want, you know.
I thought it was your idea. I thought most people thought it was
it my idea? I mean, you know,
I don't
how
know.
stupid am I, Jay? I mean, come on. Yeah, I couldn't even pretend like I liked it. Let's be honest.
No, I mean, I think most people thought it was your idea.
Well, no.
Oh, it wasn't your idea?
There is no way. There is no way. You know, and the thing with Kim too, you know, a lot of people, you have a woman, and Kim's younger, and a lot of people, you know, they like to start rumors and stuff. But you know, the first person when Rosie came back, first person she calls is Kim. You know,
so Kim is back now.
Kim is.
Because I heard she threw her out.
No, Kim. First of all, I was never fired for the Roseanne show. That was not. My credit cards were never cut up.
No, see, it said in the paper your credit cards were cut up.
Well, how do you do that? I mean, you know, the worst case scenario. I do work about 5 jobs.
You know, I'd rather have my credit cards and all my stuff thrown to the pool.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. But, you know, there's just, you know what, the relationship, and it's so weird to talk about this on national television, but we need to, the relationship needs to work, to work, and individually.
So where's Roseanne now?
Rosie is out of town, and she is, you know, working on herself right now.
Now, I read, first of all, I read she was in France.
Right.
Then I read she was blonde, and she had a French accent. That was in the paper. Then I read she was camping in the Sequoias.
Yeah. Well, she went, she is blonde now.
She's blonde?
So, yeah, it's sort of blonde. I think it's blonde. Yeah, it's blonde. And, you know, she wanted to, she dyed her hair one day. She didn't even tell me. And it was a day before we shot the last show, so, you know, all of a sudden, Roseanne Connor is blonde, so we had to, you know, put a wig on her and everything. But she did go camping for a few days, I guess, and got away from it when this thing first got filed and had no idea what was going on with it.
So when do you see her next?
Well, tomorrow night.
Oh, you're going to be together tomorrow night? Are you guys taking some time off to get together?
Yeah.
Well, you know.
I shut my show down for a week, and I'm going to go see her tomorrow night.
And you got to run now? So you're going off?
I'm going to go back and shoot my next episode.
Okay, and then tomorrow you're going to see her?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Will you come visit us during the next crisis?
Yeah, I hope there's never another one.
All right, well, I hope you get it all straightened out.
And I want to say, too, thank you. I mean, there's been a lot of people have been so great, and I know a lot of people care about us, and a lot of people love Rosie, and I you know, she's taking care of her. Thank you very much, and I love you guys, too. And I just want to say thanks, and thanks to you, Jimmy.
And thank you for the monologue material. I could not have gotten through
I know.
Thank you. Tom Arnold. Thanks, Tom. Be right back right after this.